Or as a wise Italian once said, "Okie dokie." let's not dilly dally nor delay. Get right into it. Let's not delay. Let's turn on the classic tunes that we all love so much. And then I'll ask you a question. It's an important question. I got a very important question for everyone here. And I hope that you're all willing to help me answer that question. So, my question is really simple, but it relates to Wani Kiss. We're not going to talk about Wani Kiss. My opinions will come forth as the videos go up, and I post the review when it comes. But for now, I want to ask a question. Why is Wani Kiss set in 2019? Why is Wani Kiss explicitly set in 2019? Like, if you remove the mention in the anime chapter, which they could have just said, oh, it's Volcaldera Anime Con, and left it at that. Why is it set in 2019? And why is it calling attention to it? And why does it feel like a lot of those later chapters are written exclusively from the perspective of all the shit I got mad about? I just have questions, okay? I just have questions, I just want answers. It's not much more to it. So that's really all I had to say. I feel a little sick. I feel a little sick in my stomach. My stomach's like doing sick kickflips over my head, and I'm like, oh. So, welcome. Great, Safi. Always great when you start off a brand new LP by having stomach problems. Go Hargledy, Gargledy. Okay. Hold up. It's just a small thing that's getting in the way. Alright, so that's all my instinct, because clearly personal attack. That might be true, but I still wonder why it's 2019. Like, why is it so insistent on this? You could have removed the 2019 mention, and it would have been fine. Is it just so that Anon like barely squeaks in as a Gen whatever? Because I think he's a Gen Z regardless, right? Like, Anon is Gen Z. He's a Zoomer. No matter how you slice that cake, he needs to be like 95 or something before, you know. All I'm saying is why is it set 4 years earlier? And before even Snoot Game, it's so weirdly specific. All right, enough of that. Enough of that. So, for those who don't know, Wani Kiss actually got better over time, and the last 17 and 18 are like actually genuinely good chapters. What a place to hide them at the end of your story after committing some of the most traumatic atrocities of atrocities, just atrocity. But with this behind us, let's focus on the future, which is Tori. I was told the Tori game is Wani Kiss, but done properly. 1999 be the limit. Yeah. You really... Hold up. You could technically put Anon in... Yeah, he could have smartphone, but, like... The smartphone is so insignificant. Like, Listen, I went to write something, right? A very goofy little idea. And it sends Olivia back to like the 1990s, and she grows up, like she goes to St. Hammond in 2003, sorry. It's been a while. In 2003. And I realized that like nothing really changes, does it? Like some smartphone scenes might change a little bit, but fundamentally Wani Kiss does not consider the modern ecosystem within which most kids grow up. Like sure, Inco and the like, Inco is a Reddit kid, but outside of that, how much of the story really relies on the modern internet era? How much of it actually connects to the youth of today? I'm just saying that it shouldn't be this easy. Especially since I cut out Inco, and it's like, I could just do this and nothing would really change. I guess Liz probably wouldn't be drawing digitally because, like, tablets aren't as common yet. But, like, man, what a weird thing to do, huh? It almost makes the writers look a little old-fashioned. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to change the background, and I forgot to set this one up, because I'm stupid. Yeah, that's the Tori stream. It's D-Day. There's Scary Dave. When the hell did he show up? Hold up. I need to make this stupid background. What does this do? Oh, it does that. We don't need that. We do need this, and then we want to get rid of this, and then we just, yeah, this will work. Hold up. This will be taken care of in like a second. I just. Tori Game, Blanco. Cool, and now I can just save this, and actually I need to set the text on. And we can just, be gone, Clip Studio Paint, we're done. There we go. It's very green. I don't know why it turned out so green. I could desaturate it, but it's green! That's my attack! You're green now! And there's nothing you can do about it. Olivia isn't even in this, so making it green just makes it look sickly. I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out. Not now, though. Not now. Now's not. It looks like someone detonated a mustard gas bomb in here. Gosh. Let's get to Inco. Now, I've read this a little bit, and I think that Inco is already a little off the deep end. Who knows what year we're in? It again doesn't tell us, and it's really weird. But let's go. Let me just like point in a direction like a Metal Slug character. Go. January 6th of my senior year. Oh, we're straight up copying Anon's shift, too, huh? January 6th. Oh, that's the same date it is here, except not the same month. January... Oh, she's gonna be in here? That's just weird. January 6th of my senior year in high school. I stepped out into the cutting cold air of Volcaldear Bluffs. A reflexive shiver cascaded through my... Cascaded? That's a terrible way to describe a shiver. And I quickly zipped up my suede jacket. Unfortunately, it did little to offset the frigid air in practice. It wasn't as frigid as the worst of it back in the Midwest, but even a mild winter was winter wind. Mild winter wind was... Just cut it on the W's, buddy. She's going to be in here way later and it won't be monumental. It's just weird, man. Listen, I'm all for the wink wink nudge nudge, but don't tell me this shit ahead of time. It just ruins the moment. It just makes me go, really? Instead of going, really, I guess. That's cute. Fair pet. I guess you can be spoiled on, like, the vibe of things, because it's like, you don't have to bring her the fuck up. Inco can exist without her, okay? They're not symbiotically connected by the umbilical cord. That's all I'm saying. How one suffers to be fashionable. At least the blue of the jacket meshed perfectly with my gray jeans. You know, a lot of people, when they write first person, struggle to describe their character's visual appearance, but this is not the fucking way, man. The jacket is fine. I mean, I guess the point is that Inco's a little fashion-conscious bitch, so he better keep this shit up. Otherwise, I'm deducting points. For now, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Because Inco is a little fashion... I need to remember this Inco now. Inco is a little fashion boy. God. Feels like I haven't seen Inco in forever. For centuries. I mean, I've seen Inco. I've just seen, like, the specter of Inco. The ghost of Inco haunting Anon. Assuming... Also, wasn't this jacket, like, described as being pretty warm for the weather? Shouldn't it be, like, a pretty decent jacket for, like, the Mediterranean winter? Because, again, it's not that cold in California! Assuming jacket's aroma was on point this season, I gave the doorman an older Is that a reference? Is that a fucking reference? To nothing to something? I'm losing my shit if it is. Why does everyone do this? Stop it! It's not cute. It's like kind of weirdly low-key racist in a very odd way that I can't describe. Why do people know this out of the back of their pocket? Do dinosaurs go around and go, ah yes, that fine African man? Is Anon and Inco constantly described as Homo sapiens? My god! A warm nod and smile, and he was quick to return it. A good start to my first day of school for the new year. Hold up. Are we in the Southern Hemisphere? Why is school starting on the 6th? Or is he talking about the new year in, like, the calendar year? Why are you getting me so mixed up? Right straightforward, please. I've been told you're better, and you're just confusing me. I began my relatively short walk towards my new school. That's, don't use the same thing. So quick in succession. The high rise. This says Inco is in Volcano. I think that's the core idea. He's got to be smooching Fang. Not a boy Fang. We're going to have to do with boring old non-binary girl Fang. You know, the fresh picked off the streets. The high-rise apartment buildings my parents had settled on was relatively in-city, without being deep into the sprawling mess of buildings. Close enough for them to have a short commute to the business center, yet also close enough to my school that I could comfortably walk each day. Normally, I'd spend my commutes to school on my phone, by virtue of taking the bus or train. Train? Who the fuck takes a train to high school? You take a tram or a metro, but not a train. Or is this one of those Americans who thinks that every train is the same train? Because that's just so lame. But the positioning of the school versus apartment made that a non-start. I mean, you're probably waiting longer. Ugh. Like, the way a good subway and, like, bus system is organized is like a wheel and spoke system. So it's like, you gotta go to a different wedge, you gotta go to the center first, and you gotta walk, and it's like, you might as well just walk the whole way. It would be nice if Mom and Dad could have given me a ride for the first day, but unsurprisingly, they've already gone to work by the time I gotten up. I didn't feel comfortable trying to walk and browse at the same time. You're not Anon. You have some wherewithal to you, especially on an unfamiliar route. So, I was left with my thoughts for the trip. A new year, a new school. So, are we in the Southern Hemisphere now? Because again, school years don't start in January, right? I was used to moving around as my parents took us place to place, but I was particularly disappointed with this move. When I'd heard that we were moving into Volcaldera Bluffs, I had been excited at the chance of attending the prestigious Why are we doing this? Like, I get it, but, like, you don't have to. You don't have to. Like, it was kind of weird. But the last job took months longer to finish than anyone had hoped. By the time we were all done for and we had moved, it was already closing in on the end of the calendar year. The private institution... Oh, it's a different St. Hammond. It's a sexier St. Hammond. This St. Hammond wears the high heels, glossed and glazed. The private institution had limited seats, and the specialty curriculum pretty well obliged locking in attendance at the start of the year. Yeah, because those teachers gotta know how many kids they get to yell at. It was hard not to be disappointed with the missed opportunity. St. Hammond was a big name in the art space, and tons of students that had graduated from there apparently went on to have huge breakout careers in whatever field they specialized in. Getting in there would have opened a world of doors. I just like that term. So it's like slightly off in a way. After graduation, and I had been foolish enough to get my hopes up and really invested in the possibilities. But I would like to point out that we've now wasted quite a bit of time on a school you're not even attending, which better imply that he's going to bring this shit up as a sad little boy. Because again, otherwise, this is really all you need. This is the entire paragraph that fucking matters. We don't need the details. We don't give a shit. This tells us, okay, it would have been great, but he doesn't, and the rest is just irrelevant. Throw it out the window. But we missed the window, so now we're stuck going to a normal high school again. So much for getting my foot in the door in my art career. Let out a disappointed sigh before shaking my head to knock the morose thoughts from my head. Come on, Inco. Just because you won't get to go to a school dedicated to your artistic interest doesn't mean this new high school is going to be bad. You've no doubt... I don't know if this is a you situation. You should have you have. You have no doubt... I guess he's being casual. You've no doubt that you'll have a good opportunity to make friends and connections. Please don't comma and then not use and. Oxford comma, but don't like this. All the stuff you've been sorely missing out on in your prior years. And with all those friends and connections, come future opportunities for your art too. Small smile spread across. I don't like small smile. I feel like it's all I've seen over the last few days. Call it a coy smile. Call it a subtle smile. But stop always calling it small. It makes me feel insecure about my pee-pee. A small smile spread across my face as a little pick-me-up settled into my head. Yeah, this year will be different for sure. I mean, now that I think about it, right, I never really thought about this too much, but I guess Inco in Wani was kind of like excited to meet like his peers, to meet his artistic peers. I kind of want to look it up. It'll be. Hold up. I'm gonna pull it up. Anon's cousin goes to Cal Arts. I always got the impression that part of the reason he was so excited to make friends is because they would have been friends that shares artistic inclinations. Anyway, let's move on. You can always just become a performance artist, Inco. The leather Their applications got mixed up. The school year usual starts on 8th of January, winter break. Yeah, I know what you mean, but, like, isn't the formal year is from, like, September to September, right? That's, like, the new grade starts in September. I don't know, man. It's you Americans confuse me. Why must you make things so complicated? Whoa. I made a 20-minute walk in the brisk winter. It's the fucking Southern Californian coast of winter air later, and I could begin to see the ghostly outline of my destination. Formulating? You mean forming? Formulating? It's not a fucking baby bottle. In the morning mist, my feet slowed to a stop as I considered the looming colossus in the fog. No, your feet sped up into a stop. It looked daunting, almost ominous. Admittedly, if I'm mostly complaining about the fact that your road choice is a little bit goofy like it was in the other one, it's a hell of a lot better than Wani's initial opening. Wani Kiss, that is. I've been watching this guy stream Wani Game with the Mia route, and I'm like, there's some good ideas in here, but what the fuck is happening? The edge of the bright chatter, the edge of the bright chatter? I get what you're saying, but like, New word combinations learned. The edge of the bright chatter of the school student cutting through the fog offset the visual What are you saying? Offset the visual ambient mood in a way that struck me as particularly interesting. I began my walk once again, finally closing the distance on the building. Enough that the title adorning... Listen, I'm going to tell you something, right? I'm going to tell you a little cheat code that all of you kids better fucking learn, because I'll put this on the test and I'll yell at you if you don't learn it. He didn't need to stop. There is absolutely nothing here that required Inco to stop. If you want to describe that he's stopping because it's so ominous, because it startled him for a moment, then fine. But otherwise, Inco never had to actually stop. From a writing perspective, the stopping is just dead space. I know that's... I don't know. It's the Wani Game mood that's... I don't even know what Wani Game mood is. Hold up. I think it's the one... I think it's Wani Game where, like, Inco Ginito is a giant asshole, and I think it's the one where they have the... What was it again? They have the weird AI voices. All I know is that it was the fucking dumbest shit I've ever seen, and honestly, I kind of like it. Like, Inco thinks so much. You know how I keep saying you need to tighten your writing? Imagine that is like the only criticism I can give, because it's the only problem that happens for hours, and I never notice the other problems. I'm just too busy saying, please, cut the script shorter! As it just grows in my hands, and my hands are full of hands. And I just can't handle it anymore. The last update was in February. I think this is the one. It's the one that has the NeoCities website. The fact that NeoCities is still around is cracking me up, though. All I can say is that, listen, I get what you're going for. I get what you're going for, but man, if you trim the script, it might actually work as me wanting to strangle Inco to death. And you know what? Sometimes you want to read a story where you just want to strangle the main character. You just want to throw him out a window. I also love that the streamer seems to be completely unsure if it takes place in high school or not, and to be honest, neither am I. Thinko, yeah! Love Thinko, he's so dumb! He's the perfect asshole. Oh, what a jackass. Where were we? Volcano High. I couldn't help myself. You pissed yourself, buddy? I slipped my backpack down from my shoulders and pulled out my K-Von Stone 60. A quick line up in the viewfinder and I snapped the shot. A glance at the display confirmed that the shot turned out well. The fog diffusing the morning light made for a challenge when composing the shot, but even then, it came out well. I smiled to myself. God, I love that we got positive vibe Inco. He's clearly still into photography. So far, Inco's on point. Listen, I'm very skittish after that Anon thing where it felt like there was an Inco in the room and a monkey. And no Anon. Anon wasn't there for a lot of it. I'm a little on edge, okay? A good start to a good year indeed. Stop calling it a new year. Just say a good year. Be like extra positive. Glaze it. You know what they say, 420 glaze it. Please do not put weed in your frosting. I stepped into the entrance proper just as the fog was beginning to break, confirming that I had timed my picture flawlessly. I took stock of the grounds in front of me, which was filled to the brim with a multitude of dinos. and only dinos. Seemed that Volcano High was in a primarily dino area. Not that that was a problem, but it was unusual to find my human nature being such a rare commodity. Even my prior schools had a more even mix. But hey, maybe that would be enough to catch people's attention and act as an icebreaker, an opportunity to make friends. Good job. As I began to approach the large staircase that led to... Oh, there's a little thing out front, because I thought he was... Oh, whatever. As I began to approach the large staircase that led to the front doors, a number of Soyan students took note of me. A few hushed comments, a few lingering stares. But quickly the attention of each that took note of me passed. You mean Inco was noted? Inco noted, you've permanently ruined this verb for me. Thanks. Dang. Humans weren't as rare as anticipated if they lost interest that fast. Well, they're not trying to sketch you. If you're trying to call that out, that mostly has to do with the fact that they wanted an artistic reference. I started my climb up the steps with process Jesus fucking Christ, what a sloggy sentence. Fuck! Be gone! Step. A few looks, then disinterest. Step. You're using a few a lot. Try to find some others or just... Like, come on, man. Then they stopped caring. Yeah, that's literally what you just said. It's literally what you just said twice. Like, I don't know what you're trying to... Like, you're hammering on it, but you're not hammering it in a fun way. Just kind of repeating yourself. I got about halfway up the steps as I was doing my own canvassing of my fellows. Canvassing of your... Oh, Jesus, Inco, that's right. You can't racially profile them. When I was stopped at the sight of a particularly standout figure. The rest of the dinos milling about the grounds were certainly interesting. Various species, an incredible rainbow of colors of scales, hair, feathers, and horns. I wanted to say thorns. To say nothing of the various styles of clothing and accessories they all sported. Some of them look like anime references. Not that I've ever seen an anime. My artistic eye had scanned each one of them and made an instinctual appraisal of how each well below conscious of... What are you talking about, my man? Are you racially profiling them or not? But the individual my eyes fell on now... Again, sell it, please. Fucking sell it. Use power verbs. But the individual that truly caught my eyes was strikingly unique in an ocean of unique individuals. Come on, man. Fucking, I want my jaw dislocated from punchy verbs. The pterosaur was angled away from me. The pale scales contrasted the pre-shredded black pants and the form-fitting halter top she sported. A spiked band adorned her striped head crest. Spiked and striped, oof. And various colored band accessorized her wrist. Long silver hair draped down past complementary colored feathered wings, sprouting from her back. It would be funny if Inco was so sheltered he ended up being Nasser levels of casually racist. 1920s, casual racism. I mean, if it is the 2020s, I guess it would be 20s. Anon did say he kept skipping classes, and we know Inco would never do that. That means that gym dodgeball happens in Volcano. That's a bad omen. Love to see them go at it like a pair of profiling Beyblades. At a glance, she looked almost purely black and white, but as the fog continued... Man, how thick is this fucking fog? Continued to break, the morning sun highlighted the light green... Light green? Green! I guess my background was appropriate after all for gonna decide that... I thought she was bluish. To a scale that added a subtle hue. Green? Green. Green? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I'm pulling her up. I'm pulling up Fang. Green. I mean, I can kind of see it, I guess. I always kind of went for blue. Felt like it fitted better with the whole silver motif. Also, if she's blue, like, if she's green, right? We all know that Fang has, like, the orange eyes and the purple eyelashes. If she's green, that's disgusting! Ha! I don't know what to tell you. That doesn't work. That's a fucking wedge. That's a triangle. Of colors, I mean. I just want a new picture. Just throw a new picture out. Here, I got a Fang for you. Can I dump this Fang here, please? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Holy shit. Listen, Windows, I have an app for this, Windows. Jesus, I have to make this so complicated. Whoa. What do you mean nothing matched? Oh, because it's web dot... Fucking hell! This is needlessly involved. Hold up. I know exactly how to fix this. This is a little trick I learned in the army. Green. She is ever so slightly green. What? Hold up. We're not done here. We're not done here. I'm mad now. I'm mad now. You can't just make Fang green. Why green? You have orange and purple. Why are you going for green? She's a fucking. Oh my god. Oh, if you actually sample. Okay, listen. I need you to see this. I need you to fucking see this. I'm kind of low-key losing my mind here, and I need you to understand why I'm so fucking pissed off right now, because it's breaking my head, okay? It's breaking my goddamn head. Which one of these is actual Clip Studio Paint? Cool, there we go. Okay, so you see this? I want you to look at the little triangle down here. Fang is green, the eyes are over here, and the purple is over here. She's a fucking equilateral triangle of colors! What are you doing? What? Oh shit, this is the same rec window. Oh, that's not very good. Why did I duplicate this? Ah, shit. Huh. Why is this the same rec window? Safi, you need a new one. You need a new window. That could have ended poorly. How do I destroy this? Where's the kill this guy button? Yeah. I feel a little nauseous right now. I feel a little nauseous right now. I legitimately thought that she was kind of a teal, like a bluish silver, because that makes a bit more sense. That made a bit more sense to me. Because, you know, we're going with the silver motif, and silver tends to be slightly bluish, right? Everyone tends to shade silver with blue, and most shading colors tend to be slightly purple, because that's like the easy one to pick. Is Fang fucking green because Trish is purple and Reed is green? I'm going to listen. I'm 10 seconds from losing my mind in a way that cannot be properly described. We have no time. We have. Hold up. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. I'm about to lose my goddamn mind. I like how someone pointed out that the chapter 8. We figured this one out. I don't know what to tell you, man. Hold up. We need to figure this one out. Why is Fang green? Okay, so listen. The reason I'm about the orange does Fang have orange and purple highlights because that's what her friends are? Oh god, please. I need hold up. I need I think I'm about to throw up at how stupid this is. I'm about to throw the fuck up at how stupid this is. Is Fang green so that she and her friends form a triangle of colors in the color wheel? Are you fucking shitting me? Oh, I don't think I can explain just how mad I am if that's the case. Oh, you have no idea how pissed I'll be. Piss and vinegar. Piss and vinegar! So Fang's over there. And Reed's over there. Okay, that's not that bad. It's not as bad, but it's still... Is it... Okay, listen, I'm gonna give props. I'm gonna give props if this is the case, because there's actually something clever hidden in here. I mean, Reed's hair. Yeah, no. Wait, okay, that's Reed's color. That's his hair color. It depends on where you take the actual snapshots on what color he is, but he's mostly just over there. But is the idea... Oh, no. Trish is way more blue. Trish is blue? Why does she eye so purple? Is it because she's like a really light blue? No, her hair is blue too. What? What? Nothing about Trish is actually purple? What? I need a fucking adult. I need an adult. My brain is about to come out of my gosh dang asshole. Hold up. Hold up. You don't understand how my brain is about to shit itself. I don't think there are words that can properly explain this. I need you to look at this. I need you to look at this. This is Trish. This is Trish. This is Reed. And then this is Fang. Well, this is a Snook Game Fang, I guess. I need to get the actual Figgity Fang from the Figgity Fang machine. It's even worse than I thought. What is happening? Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I thought, you know, maybe Trisha's purple, because if Trisha's slightly purple, right, and Reed is red, then the idea is, like, on the color wheel, they're closer together, because they kind of are, whereas Fang is over there, the little outsider. You know, it's color theory, it tells the story, but it's not. They're just... My stomach is acting up in ways I can't explain. Oh my god, I need to lie down. I need to lie down. Safi pulls with a crazy person pinboard. Listen, I'm losing my mind right now. I need a local streamer go schizo for colors. Yeah, that is what I mean. No, it's not schizo. It's a color theory. Like, you can communicate ideas through colors. You can have characters be like similar colors to indicate that they belong to the same faction. Like, they're wearing a uniform, but it's their skin color instead. That's what you can do with the characters. You can be like, Fang is Reed is a deep red, Trish is a heavy magenta purple. So that when Fang is green, they're like all the way over there. They're like this thin slice wedge. So like Fang is disconnected from her friends in a way, right? That's the story, is that Fang grows apart because of her ambitions, because of their ambitions. And you can do that. But if it's an equilateral triangle, it's supposed to be like they're balanced. They are one that makes whole. And that's like the opposite of what the story's trying to tell us. The point is, well, they were always going to come along. But even in that regard, that means that Fang's eye colors are chosen because they are her friends. It's like, even in the end, they're still carrying the friends along. The problem with that theory, right? The problem with that is that Reed and Trish don't do this. It's like only Fang does the fucking color theory things. I mean, Reed's shoes are fucking ridiculous. I'm not gonna give this man an inch on those high tops. Anyway, enough losing my mind. I honestly made myself a little sick. My stomach's like acting up. Oh boy, I need an adult. I need an adult. We need to finish this chapter. Actually, that's what I need. If I hurl, I'm not sorry. I think I'm gonna schedule in a nice early break. I'll be back in a minute. I need to something. Okay, let's try not to lose my mind again. At a glance, she almost looked purely black and white, but as the fog continued to break, the morning sun highlighted a light green to her scales that added a subtle hue. A surprising display of chic goth among her more normally dressed peers. Didn't they just describe everyone here as dressing weird, the various styles of clothing? And you're like, no, the chic goth is the weird one? I stood staring for a long moment. My hands fiddled with the camera I held. Your hands were fiddling with the air you held. A monochrome in a sea of color. It couldn't be more picturesque. Says the palest man in the world. Would it be rude to take her picture? It was technically a public space, and asking her for permission would ruin the shot I saw before me. She was engaged in a lively conversation with a few other dinos that were much more normal than her, insofar as that they sported the more colorful scale and hair stylings I was used to. What hairstylings are you used to, Baldy? He was talking to a short, purple-scaled triceratops and a fairly tall, salmon-colored raptor. Given the energy in their faces and actions, they were probably friends. I was fighting myself between snapping the shot I saw before me and walking up and introducing myself. After all, I'm here to make friends, and they seem to be good friends already. Maybe we'd hit it off. I could compliment the tarot on her clothing aesthetic. Just call it her clothing choice. Like, I'm all for using the word aesthetic, but... And maybe we... Oh... The tarot had turned her head to look at me. I'd been standing here for way too long. The bright amber irises of her eyes were framed by purple and orange makeup. A surprising splash of color in contrast to the rest of the monochrome. My brow furrowed. Come on, man. You're down. Give me 5 to 10% more. No, I think I was making it awkward. Before I could make a move, bust a move, to try and break the stare down or start up a conversation, her eyes flicked up and down me. She took her own appraisal of the new human a short ways from her and made her assessment with a small downward curl of her lips before turning away from me and back to her friends. Well, crap. Blew that opportunity. I let out a sigh. No, I was going to get the picture now. Put my camera back. Didn't she just turn back? It's fine. I put my camera back into my bag and moved away from the stairs. Didn't want to give her old friends the impression I was some creep. Traveling across the grass, I found a small hidden-away alcove. A dreary, weather-worn bench rested on the concrete pad. Alone on the concrete pad. What concrete pad? Why is it the concrete pad? I wrestled with the idea of taking a picture of the forlorn furniture before me. Wisps of remaining fog reefed the bench in bands of light. Standing alone, much like how I felt. But it felt like if I took the picture in that headspace, it was signing away the entire day as a loss, and I wasn't ready to write off my first day at school so easily. I stood in contemplation. A hand suddenly landed on my shoulder, startling me. It let out a bit of a yelp, spinning around to see who it was. Unfortunately, as I turned, my feet got caught on each other, and I fell backwards. Why not tumble? Why can't he tumble backwards? Why can't he trip? Why does it have to be a fall? Directly into the singular seat, which splintered apart on impact. In hindsight, it did look pretty rotted. Oh my goodness, are you okay? I readjusted my prescription sunglasses, still lying in a heap. Still laying in a heap? Why are you laying your glasses in a heap? You're lying in a heap, I know that much, but... So I could better see who was talking to me. It was an orange parrot who leaned forward over me. She was clearly concerned that if I'd hurt myself. Not exactly the best first impression to give another student. I mean, you gave a very bad one with Fang already. She was dressed sharply, if a touch unusually, button up. Why couldn't you just stick to that? We don't need a repeat. Button-up shirt with a string tie of all things, alongside a dark capri. Why are we giving her the fashion lowdown? Are you going to do the same to Nasser? Because otherwise, I'm going to have to start docking points for... Because there are books where, like, the women get physical descriptions, the men get emotional descriptions, or it's like, all the men are described as... if a man gets more than one sentence of description, it's like they're gonna fucking make out, and he's always big, and he's always so large, and she's so small, like, he can grab her with one hand and crush her, and she barely comes up to his belly button, and all that other weird shit, where I'm like, are you just here for blowjobs, lady, or are you writing a book? Next to her was a male pterosaur, with dark grey scales. Standing upright, less concerned about if I'd survive the shortfall to the ground, though his golden eyes still watched me intently. His overall presentation was clean-cut, if less so than the girls, with dark buzzed hair, again... Oh, there we go. I mean, admittedly, again, it kind of works for Inco, because Inco's a little fashionista. He cares about presentation and looks. He's already typecasting people. How to put it nicely? Oh, wait. Oh, it's red brand sneakers, highlight... Oh. How to put it nicely? His sense of fashion had difficulties. In the normal way for male Theros, he had leathered wings from his back. Are we really going with the idea that men have feathers and women do not? Because, like, explicitly in Volcano High, that's not the case. And also, it's kind of weird. And also, in Nothing Else Matters, it's like a really weird detail. All I'm saying is it's weird. It's really, really weird. To make that, like, a focus point of your story is the dimorphism of other species like that. Generally want to avoid that unless you want to make it about it, because it just complicates matters, but whatever. One of his wings was much smaller than the other one. Some sort of injury? Looking away, I made a mental note to avoid that topic. At least he has the wherewithal to know not to talk about people's disabilities. Meet me at my shop in T-Bone. We have more small, delicate men with soft lips. Yeah, man. If a man in a woman's romance grumbles or growls, you know that he's gonna be the dark, edgy love interest. Especially if he ever asks her, "Are you okay? Who did this to you?" Like, my god, it's so rote, and it just bores me! I don't read a book to read the same book! Yeah, I'm alright. He just startled me and I slipped. Nasser, dear? Yeah, right here, pal. He acknowledged. He acknowledged what? You can't just say you acknowledged. You have to say something. It's a verb that needs a subject. Where's an object? I don't know. Extending his hand towards me. I took it with a firm grip, and he quickly held... Inco with a firm grip? Ew. And he quickly pulled me to my feet. Man, he was strong. Dusting myself off, I made sure my pants had made it through the impact unscathed. Clicked off of my jacket, and I was squared away and presentable again. You took your jacket off? Why are you taking your jacket off? Your jacket should be fine. You must be Inco Chinito, correct? Yeah, that's me. And you two are? Oh, where are my manners? My name is Naomi, Student Council President and your guide for today. I hope you all remember that I do remember her. Let's pick up a different song. Let's mix it up a little. It's always West Coast kicking, but it's not West Coast kicking. Blech! Don't want this one. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. No. We're picking up these two weirdos. Yeah, baby. A guide? That's a little unexpected. I extend my hand towards it to complete our greeting. Nice to meet you, Naomi. She let out a pleased squeak and beamed me a warm smile as she grabbed my hand and gave it an equally warm shake. She was energetic and upbeat in a way that was a little infectious. And this is Nasser, she said, gesturing towards it. Hey, I agreed, shifting my offered handshake to its new target. He's quick to return it. Sup? We're your welcoming committee. Welcome committee? That's a little surprising. No, not that I'm complaining. I commented, flashing a pair of thumbs. Oh my god, what a nerd. Naomi clapped her hands together. Put your hands together! Given that you ended up transferring in here halfway... That's what I meant, it's halfway into the year. Halfway into the year, it only seemed right to help you get squared away as quickly as possible. I made this just for you, she said, holding a hand out again. Did she make that pamphlet? I thought the pamphlet was just like a generic one from school. This time she had a pamphlet unoffered, which I took to scan over. Volcano High and you, and the beginning to adulthood. Huh. Neat. Also, I realized that Inco doesn't mutter, but Anon doesn't. The muttering is kind of a plot point, ain't it? Is Inco gonna mutter, or are we gonna figure something else out? I hope they figure something else out, because I fucking hate it if you're just gonna repeat shit. It's not Inco. I'm very specific about this. I began to flip through the brochure. None of my previous schools did anything like this, finding mostly common school information. College prep, financial assistance, after-school activities, and more. None of it was immediately important, but it certainly would be useful later. Thanks. This will definitely come in handy. Just kind of... You don't have to tell... You have to tell us where you fucking put it, man. You just say you put it away. You just say, I said putting it away, with a smile. Bam! It's shorter, snappier, and it doesn't fucking bore me. Hey, babe, I gotta go take care of something. Nasser interjected. Oh. I followed Nasser's line of sight to see the Terror, Triceratops, and Raptor from before trying to wrangle some large speakers up the stairs. Looks like a precarious effort with a... Holy shit! I always thought this was like completely unrelated, but tying it directly into them is actually kind of clever. Point. 1 point for the man. Here you go, Arloch. See you at lunch, right, Nasser? Of course. He stepped close to her and quickly touched his beak to her snout. Why does she have a snout and he has a beak? Before breaking away and moving quickly across the yard to the struggling students. Is that how Dano's kids? You learn something new every day. If I had known it was coming, that would have made a nice picture. Sorry. What you were saying? So, Inco, why did you transfer to our school? Well, my parents move around a lot as part of their job. The original plan was to move here for the start of the school year, so I could have gone to St. Hammond. But unfortunately, the timing didn't work out. Oh, so you're an artist? Well, yeah. Oh, you do photography? She clapped her hands together, and her smile grew even wider. That's lovely. I couldn't help but smile. You already were smiling back, right? Didn't he already return the smile? Why are we smiling so much? Stop smiling a smiling smile. I'm losing my mind. Thanks. I'm pretty passionate about it. The sucks I couldn't get into St. Hammond. Oh, not that I'm not excited to be here or anything. No, I fully understand. But I hope you'll find Volcano High just as good for your studies as the remainder of your senior year. What is under my foot? Get out of there. We may not be as renowned in our art programs, but I think you'll find the rest of our educational art offerings are top-notch. Well, I hope so. After this, we'll all be adults, and we'll have to figure out our careers and stuff. Oh my god, you nerd! Indeed. Tragically, many students don't take their futures as seriously as they should. I'm glad you're already considering yours. I couldn't help but rub the back of my head bashfully with a sudden praise. Thanks. I'm trying. But photography isn't an easy career to break into. I have to work twice as hard to make up the difference. Can make all of the difference. A noble ideal. I'm sure you'll do great, Inco. Would you like a quick tour before classes begin? Certainly it would be a good idea to have someone who knows things to just give me a few pointers on major landmarks. Yeah, sure, sounds good. Naomi was clearly knowledgeable about everything about the school. Awkward. Why not say something like everything school-related? Quickly steering me through the halls and pointing various directions and doling out various factoids variously. If I was being variously honest, it was a bit too various to actually absorb, but it didn't interrupt her various momentum. She seemed to be having fun acting as my guide, at least. Mrs. Roberts' route went, listen, I know that you're joking around, but Inco's behavior right now is perfect for Goodbye Volcano High Mrs. Roberts, who is like, you kids need to think about your fucking futures. Not that I say that they would date per se. I could imagine the route being like one of those cutesy routes where it's like, I'm gonna hold your hand through all this, Inco, and he's like, I don't need my hand held, and it's like, you know, this respect between adults. It's not a dating route, but if you're about platonic relationships, perfect. It's the asexuals route. Of course, it's the fucking old lady, but hey, what are you gonna do about it? It'd be fucking awkward if it wasn't. At the conclusion of our short tour, we find ourselves in front of the principal's office. And here we have the office. Mr. Spears is usually inside, and he has an open-door policy for any questions you may have. Yeah, it says... What the fuck do you mean, sure enough, Principal... Were you doubting that it was Principal Spears in there? Why is this up for question? My desk for student council work is likewise within... The phrasing here is so non-standard English. If you have any questions for me, too. Well, that's gonna... What the hell do you...
I have to clean up after.
Came a shrill yell cutting through the sound dampening of the door. Whoever the principal was talking to was not happy about something. Naomi clicked her tongue in annoyance, a frown strong on her face. But it was only there for a moment before she turned back to me, a warm smile returning, because everyone's smiling. Today's a good day. That happen often?
Oh, no, not really. There's just been some difficulties with some of the students recently.
I see. Well, I hope that all gets sorted out.
Oh, Inco, how about I show you to your first class?
Now, that'd be appreciated. The school's layout is a bit more confusing than I'm used to, I replied. Pulled out my phone and tapped in the password. We don't need to know that you have a fucking phone password. Before opening the Photos app, where I had a photo picture of my sketch. Why are you being this specific about it? Just say you pull out your fucking schedule on your phone. Jesus. Way more Why are you bragging about this?
Is this a criticism of the original game?
I turned the phone to Naomi, and she looked it over before her face lit up, and she let out a loud squeal of excitement.
Oh, we share homeroom and English together.
Oh, we do? Cool, I said with a smile. Everyone is smiling! Naomi had been nothing but pleasant and helpful all morning. Having her in my first class would no doubt be a big help as I continue to adjust. Shouldn't you be more proficient at that, considering you move around a lot? It's been implied that Inco's kind of a rolling stone like that.
Oh, come on, you can introduce yourself, and you'll be able to make all sorts of friends,
Naomi said as she grabbed my hand and quickly tugged me along. My smile widened, as if she knew that one of the biggest things I wanted out of the app. Some real lasting friends. Heck, maybe Naomi was already technically my first. Oh, scandalous. And that NASA guy seemed pretty cool as well. 2 maybe friends, and I hadn't even done my first class of the day. Already way better than my previous years at school. With Naomi navigating, we made great time and easily got to this class before the bell. Several students had already secured their seats, while others filed in behind us. Naomi took her spot in the center of the classroom. I couldn't help but chuckle internally. Of course, the student council president would sit there. Mrs. Spears. I mean, you know, if we're gonna rule 63 someone, it might as well be Spears. Because it doesn't do anything mechanically. So it's just like, why? Everything is the same except her, him? Why? I looked around the room before said, Jesus Christ, we are so needlessly specific about things. What does it matter that people are already there or not? Like you're in the middle of stuff? Wouldn't Naomi imply that you would get there first? Does it matter? Being really specific about a lot of things. I don't know what is going on as a result. There's too many details. Naomi gave me a quick smile as the bell... Smile! As the bell rang and our teacher moved to the front of class. I took a proper note of him in his striking fashion style. It was some fashion of Japanese kimono, but the patterns don't all match with the rest of his ensemble, and its color doesn't mesh well with the scale. Oh, there we go. He's being a little fashionista. And are those swords? Ohayo gozaimasu, karasu. Today you have a new classmate, Tsuborake no hai. The teacher said, "Not like I've been flashbanged. You wear glasses, you're fine." What? Inco-kun, Parisu, come up, and introduce yourself. I'll be able to pick my name out of that syllable word salad and nothing else. Burp, burp. Anyway, it's Inco time. Is this guy supposed to teach English? Oh my god, I'm gonna fail this class. I heard Naomi psst to the left to get my attention, and once I looked over, she suddenly nodded her snout towards the front of the class. Oh yeah! Taking her hint, I stood up and situated myself in front, next to Mr. Tsuki. Front of class, 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 front of class. Hello, my name is Front of Class. I just transferred to the front of class over the winter break. My main passion is being at the front of class. I opened my introduction with a hopefully welcoming smile. Crickets. I looked around the room and saw that the classroom was filled with people completely disinterested in me. Wow, how strange. I thought it would be filled with classmates. I was shrugging there, by the way. femoid spears can still have a wife. It's perfectly legal. Well, that's unfortunate.
What was your old school like?
Well, at least one person was interested. Naomi tossed a softball question to keep the momentum going. Thank you, Naomi. Well, it's a bit bigger than Volcano High, but it was on the other side of the country. It had a lot more humans and a lot fewer dinos. Still no engagement. Arigato, Inco-kun. Parizuru ratano tsuyo shito. I moved back to my seat and found a shiitake mush. How strange. And a quick look at the only other person who engaged in my introduction. And Naomi gave me an encouraging smile. Well, if no one else in class really cared about it, at least I had one person in my corner. And that's better than in my previous school, so I returned the smile. Hi, no kurasu! Mr. Tsuki began, kicking off the lesson. Or whatever lesson could be conveyed in whatever lesson that was supposed to be. And I was asking Naomi about it later. Just look up lessons on Yusunu tonight at home.
Would you even know what to look up?
Classes continued largely in the same pattern. Reach class, introduce myself to a largely disinterested parties. Then I'd sit for the rest of the period following...
Yeah, man, that's how class works. That's what school is.
The best part was every other teacher could speak English properly, so at least I was on the fast track to only fail one class. The rest of the classes were engaging enough, but I could feel my stomach beginning its protest. Fortunately, the morning classes came to a conclusion and lunch was upon us. And maybe I could sit with Naomi and Asa. They were meeting up for lunch, right? I moved to the cafeteria and grabbed a tray, moving my way along the shockingly long self-serve line, and... Wow, okay, I was not prepared for the crazy selection of foodstuffs at what all otherwise looked like a pretty bog standard high school. Is that filet mignon? Thank you, Mr. Chin. Sorry. That is savage. Senator, that is brutal murder. Mine. I loaded my tray up with various delectables to complement my entree and pay with my card. Breaking from the line, I began to scan the cafeteria for a place to sit. Most of the tables were filled, and clearly had long-established cliques and friend groups from the past 4 months. This wasn't going to be easy. While I was considering my attack plan, I felt a hand grab my shoulder and spin me around. In a moment of deja vu, I recognized the maneuver this time. I was barely able to keep my food from ending up on the floor, or worse, for my designer clothes on me. Getting my food settled and letting out a sigh, I look at the tri's perpetrator. Whoa! Nearly dropped your food there, Inco. I didn't hear any malice in his voice, but seriously, dude, that was twice in a row. He spun me around. At the back of his neck with an apologetic look on his face. Sorry. I was trying to get your attention, but you looked like you were kind of in your own world there. Okay, we're establishing this. Want to go sit with us, he asked? What, you and Naomi? Who else? He nodded and pointed the thumb to where I could see the orange, waving frantically from the table in the distance. That'd be awesome. The prior annoyance at Nasa's well-meaning faux pas was gone with the realization that I didn't have to eat alone. First day and eating with friends. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. We approached the table, and before I could even sit down, Naomi launched a string of questions at me.
So what do you think of Volcano High? How about your classes? You seem to be settling in quite well.
I could tell she had a bunch more questions to level at me, so I took the opportunity to cut a piece of steak while she got it all out of her system. I've cut through the meat easily, and at a glance, the cut of it indicated it was perfectly cooked. We'd never get used to a lunch menu like this. Naomi finally stopped to breathe as I chewed my steak, considering all the questions. Seems nice so far. Layout's a little weird, but I'll get used to it in time. Classes all seem pretty good, other than whatever the hell's going on with Tsuki. I'm guessing English is a second language? Naomi just nodded along, dodging the question, and Nasa just gave me a who knows. That was just a mystery to them, as it was for me. Made me feel less alone on that front. You looking forward to the rest of the day? I nodded as I worked out more of my fillet. Yeah, I was hoping to meet a couple more people already, but it's just the first half of the day.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have plenty of friends in no time.
Naomi replied in encouragement. Yeah, Inco can actually afford food. Because Naomi wants to watch too as we kiss, dude. Naomi just wants her boyfriend to be gay. She just wants a polycule that is exclusively her watching her boyfriend kiss other people. Naomi, are you a cuck? You have to tell me if it's true. You have to tell me. It's like with the police. You have to legal requirement. Lunch menu's a bit of a surprise though. But prior schools is a pretty box standard cardboard pizza, cardboard pasta, and cardboard soup. I figured I was having to manage that last one. And I got a chocolate anasa. Yeah.
Yeah, the student body is pretty diverse as you can figure, so the offerings have to follow. And this school may have be a normal curriculum school, but it's within spitting distance of some pretty nice suburbs, so they tend to get better moneyed families that want to appeal to them.
Well, that makes sense. I definitely wasn't prepared for seeing this on the school menu. I said, holding up my fork with another piece of meat on it.
Well, many of the offerings are quite tasty, Inco. Don't forget to balance your diet. If you want, I can help you with some
vegan
meal offerings. They tend to be more healthy for you.
I wasn't really jazzed about the idea of a vegan diet, and Nasa seemed to be put off by the idea of vegan cuisine. Naomi was only trying to help. Thanks, Naomi. It's not something I usually eat, but I'll give it some thought.
Say, you said you were wanting more friends, right?
You said you wanted more friends, right? Nasa said after a few moments of quiet eating. Yeah. Well, my sibling Fang is doing a concert after school today. They are playing in a small band. There'll be pizza and stuff there too. Could always come with, and you might have an easier time hitting it off with the other students outside of class. I tapped my fork against my chin as I thought about it, leaving stains of filet mignon. That wasn't actually a bad idea. I know I wasn't usually big on concert, but I do like listening to music. And pizza was always a win. Let out the chance to socialize with more people. Sure, that sounds pretty interesting. Oh, what does the band play? I asked, trying to get back to finish off my filet before lunch ended. Music? Yeah, I kind of figured the band would play music, Nasa. Music? Yeah. What kind? The kind you listen to. No, I mean, what genre of music? The good kind? You don't know, do you? This is a weird thing to keep. I feel like Inco would have dropped it by now. Nope. Okay, I'll be walking into a concert blind, but that's definitely not a problem. So the NASA wasn't sure what his siblings' band played. Alright, well, it should be fun to check out the local band. Yeah, that's good. With that, we went back to finishing our food. The rest of the day continued with the same pattern as the morning did, and soon enough I found myself at the end of the school day. Unfortunately, no one engaged with me enough throughout the rest of my classes, but hey, it was still the first day of the semester. Plenty of time to form more connections. Followed Naomi's instructions provided to me at the end of lunch to reach the auditorium, where a small throng of people was milling about. A very large human was blocking the way inside. Anyway, we're going into the auditorium. Looks like they were still getting set up in there. I spotted Nasa, who was leaning against the wall, tapping away at his phone. Hey, Nasa. Hey, Inco. The concert will start soon. I just got a message from Fang, see? He turned his phone to me, and I skimmed the messages. It's the same as ever. It's always the same. I get it. You're very proud of the fact that they did a little art for this. They seem pleasant. FWR? Franklin W. Roosevelt? Fuck-ring retard. I don't know why, but every single person in the fandom just loves it, and they always repeat it. They never think of something for themselves. They just always go with this one, and I don't know why. It's like, they'll change everything, except this one insult. I've been reading the same one for the last 12. Fix Anon, please! Is your sibling always like that? Fang's, yeah, I mean, kinda. I don't think that's something a sibling should call another sibling. I mean, yeah, but they're family, but they can always be so, difficult? Yeah, difficult. And I have no idea why. I give him a pat on the shoulder. Pats! Sorry to hear, Nasa. Yeah, I know that they care, but Fang doesn't even want to be around me. My frown doesn't get any better at that. The doors were finally opened by the large man, and the crowd at the building had been building began Jesus to file into the auditorium. I could immediately smell the telltale sign of some quality pizzas. Quality. What the hell is this? Huh? What am I looking at? I need to close this. This is making me go nuts. Sweet. Come on, Inco. Nasser entered the auditorium, and I went to follow suit, but got stopped just before crossing the threshold by a large caveman of a human, his massive hand easily blocking my progress. I gave him a questioning look, and he gestured me to follow him off to the side slightly. Then the rest of the crowd filed in. How are you feeling about our lovely school, Inco? The well-dressed hulk of a human man carried a stern expression, but his voice was a neutral one. He sported a clean, sharp grey suit that screamed faculty. His so chiseled a stone face was framed by long, straight black hair, and his eyes were covered by sleek glasses that always seemed to catch the light, so the glare blocked my ability to see his eyes. I like this more than when NTS tried to pull this shit. On his chest was a pin shaped like a spear that read Principal. Principal's biz it is. Pretty good, I think. Nasser and Naomi have been really helpful. Most of my class have been pretty engaging. I feel like this New Year is off to a good start, I said with a smile. A smile that he returned with a small but gentle one of his own. I'm pleased to hear that. Now go on and enjoy the show. Yes, sir. It was a bit intimidating, but he seemed nice. Entered the auditorium to find Nasser in the back by a mountain of pizza boxes. What the hell's going on? Why aren't you... There you go. Take as much as you want. It's on the house. Wow, the school paid for all this? His smile faltered slightly. No, I meant me. I got the pizzas. Oh, cool, man. Cool, thanks. I'm sure everyone here appreciates the gesture. It's only proper to thank him if he personally went out of his way to set all this up. Fortunately, that seemed to pick up his mood once more. Hey, no problem at all. It's easier to get people to attend a concert when there's free food, right? I suppose so. I'll have to spot you next time as thanks. Nasa was clearly surprised by the offer. No, don't worry about it. You'll change the plot. We're sticking to the script. What are you talking about? Listen. I know that we're writing a fic that's explicitly about crossing over characters, but we're doing things the way they go in the original. I'm not poor, Nasa. How am I supposed to hook up with Trish? She'll never trust me. Just spend all your money. Don't worry. Mostly for Fang's sake, you know? One good turn deserves another. I counted back. After a moment's pause, he simply shrugged and smiled. Fair enough, I guess. Anyways, let me go check on the band. They should be ready to go soon. He quickly departed and moved towards the back of the stage, slipping behind the curtains. I grabbed one of the complimentary plates and a few slices of pizza. Dino Mo's Pizza. Must be a local place. I haven't heard of it before. The smell, immediately followed thereafter by the flavor, were great. Even figuring it was less fresh by virtue of being delivery, the flavors were It's a fucking pizza, man! And the toppings were plentiful. I made myself a mental note to check out the place in person at some point. I took a seat not too far from the main table in the back, waiting for Nasser. If I moved too far, he may not be able to find me once the show started. Man, this is gonna be another shit show. Huh? She's so stupid, I swear to rap to Jesus, how embarrassing. I could hear various murmurs from the crowd as they settled into their seats. My eyes moved from person to person, as far as I could tell. Why did I even bother?
Bunch of losers!
Not a single person in attendance had anything nice to say about the upcoming performance. What about you, Inco? I flexively winced at the mockery of the band that hadn't even begun to play yet. This did not bode well. If they didn't want to be here, why did they even show up? For the free food? Then why not just take a slice and bail? Did they not want to upset Nasser? Nasser finally returned, finding me where he left me. So, what's with everyone here? Huh? What do you mean? Like everyone is saying some pretty mean stuff about the band. What? Nasser's beak contorts into a fierce scowl as his eyes scan the room. His ears clearly... He doesn't have ears. Clearly picking up the same mocking mutterings I had heard. His hands began to shake and futilely grasp at the air as he tried to process the turn of events. Eventually he settled on rage. His fist slammed onto the table, sending several pizza boxes to the floor. How did that happen anyway? Like, pizzas are pretty heavy and the boxes have a low center of mass. After a moment, he pulled his hand away from the table and a scowl faded. He deflated completely. I should have known. Should have known what, Nasser? I invited everyone here so Fang would have an actual audience. Oh! Well-intentioned move that apparently invited everyone that didn't like the band. It really sucked. Before I could say anything else, however, Nasser's phone rang. He stepped a few feet away from me and answered it. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a low quality of the phone, or if the caller, who was obviously Fang, was just devolved into nonsensical shouts, but I couldn't make anything out. Nasser held his phone away from his ear to save his hearing, as the rant continued for a few more seconds longer. Okay, Unfortunately, whatever he was going to say was irrelevant, as the call immediately ended. I beat late and I said that at a sign, his whole body seemed to droop. He walked back a few steps over to me to re-engage in our previous conversation. I gotta leave. What? Seriously? Why are we doing this? Yeah, Fang doesn't want me here. Said I ruined the show. What? You organized all this for them, though? You bought pizza, the audience. I mean, yeah, though a lot of them sound like jerks, but that doesn't mean that without you. But that doesn't mean that without you, no one. So many negatives. But doesn't that mean that without you, no one would be here at all? He shook his head, dismissing the question. Look, Inco, the author isn't smart enough to actually write an alternative script for when things don't happen the way they're supposed to, so I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, we're sticking. What do you mean? Look, Inco, whatever happens, just promise me you won't hold it against them. They're actually a nice person once you get to know them. Wasn't really convinced. Even though you're getting kicked out for helping? Ian, for calling you a fucked wing retard? Nasa was a cool guy. I could deal with the audience thing seeming like it may have been a backfire, but calling your own brother something that personal and messed up? I took a look at this scarred wings behind him. The single scarred wing. I don't think the other one is. Asking me to handwave that away was a tall order. The clatter of one of the small tables draws our attention, and before breaking my questioning streak, and then I noticed that the auditorium, which normally had even rows of seats to focus on the stage, had been rearranged so there were around various small tables. A thoughtful gesture so that the audience could enjoy the pizza more easily while they enjoyed the show. I tilted my head reflexively. For what? What's wrong? Yeah, he even went through trouble switching out the seats for them. I only said it would help. The Hoffnase turned away, begrudgingly leaving the auditorium. Wouldn't it be neat if the whole show started? Because, like, Inco is delaying him, the show started before Nasser left? Just a small twist. I'm just saying. I wanted to ditch the show and follow him, but he'd gone through all the effort to set this up for his sibling. It felt rude, and it felt like it'd be rude not just to Fang, but also to Nasser. For me. To cast his hard work off like that. I let out a half of my own and slid back into the chair and returned to munching on one of my slices of pizza. Only helped improve my mood a little. Inco stands up. Who has been hiding the fact that he's Dragonborn? And a single shot, stop being mean. And all the meanie heads are hacked all the way. Begone, foul meanie heads. A moment later, the lights dimmed and the curtains drew. On stage was a trio of dinos my age. Given the context clues that NASA is a tarot, given the context clues that NASA's and his slips of language on the pronoun front, I would have guessed the female at the front of the group's center stage was Fang, the same monochromatic individual I saw this morning. At Fang's flank was a same short purple and a salmon-colored as well. So they were in a band together. Now hold their dramatic pose under the lights for a long moment. I couldn't tell if it was for dramatic flair, if they were just trying to psych themselves up. You mean they hyped themselves up? If the crowd was an unexpected gift from NASA, then performing in front of a bunch of people you didn't know would be pretty scary. Something tickled in my brain, and I quickly pried open my bag and pulled out my camera. A quick flip of the mode and adjusting the f-stops to account for the dim lighting, and I snapped my picture. Fang may have been rude to NASA, but my artist's brain couldn't help but admire the almost Renaissance-esque composition of the musical trio raved in lights. In fact, haloed from the bright lighting above, their feathers outstretched. One could almost say that Fang looked downright angelic. The two guitars and drums implied it wasn't to be heavenly harps for the discography, but I suddenly feel a sense of intrigue. Fang may be rude, but I kind of want to see what kind of music they can put out. Maybe they were just playing up the stereotypical rocker diva archetype? The band, having given a long enough moment to settle in, didn't bother introducing themselves at all. Instead, the purple immediately began to strum at the guitar strings, which, given the tone, was a bass. The solo entrance of a heavy bass line told me there was probably going to be some sort of rock or grunge kind of deal. Not my favorite kind of music, but it would still be enjoyable. The leading completed, Fang's arm raised in unison with the drummer, and they started their components of the song next. And, oh god, it sounded really bad. I could make out the drummer's hits, which sounded fairly good, but Fang's own guitar sounded incredibly deep too. The stacker was fighting with the... What did they... Did they make a mistake? Was this intentional? Was this some kind of avant-garde display of postmodernist music? Fang then launched into lyrics which were loud and screamy. Definitely punk grunge vibes if I was getting my music genres right in any capacity. And the lyrics were, definitely something. What is this about putting rat poison in the special kids' Kool-Aid? What the hell? This reads like edge for edginess' sake. Maybe I was on the money about it being some kind of performance art rather than a real band. As they entered into the chorus, there was a pause in the singing, long enough for one of the audience members to cut in through the noise. They still suck! They were doubled over in laughter, slapping the table next to them. With a break in the lyrics and an interruption from that student, the band members ceased and the song ground to a halt. The instant it did, the rest of the audience joined in. Music is great. For a try at the cringe challenge. Oh yeah, the future of music.
Try not making a shitty emo rock band in 201,000,000 2020.
Just remove the N already. And on it went. The longer it went, the louder it got. As it built up in fervor, the audience started standing and cupping their hands to their faces to project their mockery that little bit louder. On the stage, the band was in the process of falling apart. The drummer had risen from his seat and was beginning to scoot towards stage left. The purple bassist was hugging her guitar closer, looking to be on the verge of tears. Hold on, we need to... I'm just gonna turn on the song, and I'm not even gonna care if it's the right one or not. Actually, I do. This is the one. There we go. Only Fang stood there, her amber eyes... Anon, Inco, pronouns! Their amber eyes glowing with fire under the spotlights. Fuck you! They yelled. They tossed their bass to the side completely, raising both hands and proudly displaying the middle fingers from each. Fuck all of you! Fang clearly had a fairly volatile personality, but I could accept that kind of response. Where the audience was reacting was, no one will want to fuck you, bitch! God damn! That one looked like it slapped Fang directly across their face. The defiant rage melted away instantly into a look of shame and agony. Clearly egged on by that response, the crowd redoubled their mockery. I could only watch as Fang swept her bass off the deck and grabbed the arm of the purple one. Immediately they strode off stage where the drummer was waiting. An instant later, they disappeared. I felt sick. My initial impression of Fang was that they were ungrateful, unpleasant, and rude, most especially to Nasser. I couldn't tell what the hell the deal was with the band, but that was despicable behavior from my fellow students. Is this what people are really like here at Volcano High? My appetite was thoroughly dead at this point from second-hand embarrassment and shame. I may not have said anything, but I was party to it. Grabbed my plate and tossed the half-eaten pizza into the trash can nearby. The audience had mostly stopped actively yelling insults, and I was just laughing and talking among themselves. I moved towards the exit and was immediately blocked by the humanoid, Principal Spears. Gave me a long, hard, cold stare before finally speaking. I don't want to hear about this tomorrow. No, sir. The Homo sapiens' neutral expression gave way to a deep frown as his gaze shifted to the audience who was slowly winding down on their fun. Everyone is fighting their own battles. It's tragic to me that these students cannot see that. I like it, because Inco doesn't need to be fucking told this. This is not a lesson Inco has to learn. If anything, you should be on the other side, right? If he's one of those Redditors, you'd be all about the pronoun shit. You know, should already be on that team. He returned his focus to me and gave me a curt nod, dismissing me. Me followed his non-verbal instruction and slipped past him through the doorway. As the door closed behind me, his voice easily cut through the audience's noise in the auditorium door, so me could hear him. Something about suplexing someone's sorry ass. Me knew it wasn't directed at me, but me felt an instinctual urge to get out of it quickly. As I traversed home, me had finally calmed down enough to think about how today had gone. The setting sun and cool air gave a fitting, somber melancholy to match my mood. You mean me mood? Naomi and Nasa have been pretty cool. Both seemed friendly. Maybe we were even actually already friends? Naomi was crazy helpful at making me feel at home at school for my first day, which I definitely appreciated. And Nasa clearly went out of his way to help people too. The classes were totally fine, English aside, and the lunch was good. As far as the first day went, it could have easily been my best day ever if not for that final part of the whole thing. I was used to school days at my old school having various levels of loneliness and disappointment, but seeing the way my fellow students acted towards that band, yeah, they weren't good or anything, but Rap G! They probably just need more practice. Seeing that kind of behavior was making me reconsider if I could even befriend anyone other than Naomi or Nasa. Oh, so is that how we're going to justify him not befriending anyone else? He might also be serial killer. Inco gets cancelled for listening to Eminem. I reached my new home and gave a curt, hopefully pleasant nod to the greeter before entering the lobby and made my way to the elevator where the ride took me to the top floor. Finding my door, I unlocked it and slipped inside. Apartment. I like how we're taking. Why are we taking the time now? Do this the next chapter. The next chapter, please. End it. You just had a good moment. Fucking end it so we can end on a high note. Ah! Why are we... There's a reason this happens in Chapter 2 in Wani. Ugh. Also, we're kind of repeating the same thing over and over again. Let some things happen. Let some time pass. Yeah. So yeah, Chapter 1. I gotta be honest, we're starting off a little rough. Shall we try to do Chapter 2 as well? I'm a little worried this is going to be one of those slow starters. Do. Sun is shining in my eyes. Anyway. Read Caveman Flow. It's a fun read snootfic. Sure, I'll give it a Google search. First, the comments. The start of something great. I mean, it's like a single page long. Just defaulting to Inco would not be able to get in good grace with the trio seems like a lazy way to go about it. Fair enough. One of the biggest conflicts was that Anon was a redneck troll that never really opened up to the rest of the band until it was too late. Whereas Inco's more normal and was talking about himself, so that's 90% of Trish's rivalry gone right off the bat. If anything, the big danger is that he gets to be like too much, especially if he likes to show off. So Trish might just end up bossing him around like she does with Fang and land all of them in E1. That's an interesting idea, actually. I kind of do like that idea that like there's a whole separate flaw going on. Purr. Well, okay, let's find this fic I was just told exists. Caveman Flow. What the fuck is this about? We'll do this in a bit, and then we'll call it a day. We'll do Chapter 2 tomorrow. How about that? Because if we're doing this, then Chapter 2 has got to be tomorrow. I'll give you a moment to think about it while I'm going to go over there and eat a banana or something. So, it's called Caveman Flow. Caveman Flow. It's explicit, so I unfortunately can't actually show you anything. I don't care what you say. We're not risking it. We're not risking it for the biscuit. You'll just have to trust me that when I say things, they're truthful. They are real. So let's go for it. Let's just turn on some nice smooth jazz. Works for me. January 6th, 201,000,2021. Naomi and I took another look from the top of the stairs in the front of the school. Oh, wait. Naomi and I took another look from the top of the stairs in front of the school. We hadn't got much of a description of the new guy, but he was human. He'd stand out like a sore thumb, right? Fang and her clique walked by the two of us. I stop and return my wave. Whatever. Naomi grabs my shoulder and points towards the bald pink biped that had made his way towards one of the side entrances. Quickly, she led me over just as he decided to rest on a derelict bench by the school gardens. I tried to speak up and utter a warning. Before I could say anything, the bench collapses under his weight, sending him crashing to the ground. Tripping a sharp breath through my teeth, and my sweet girlfriend gives me a sideways look. Of course, you alright, bro? I reach down and offer a hand, which he gladly accepts. Pull him back to his feet. He pats his slightly dirty jeans down. On and off court. Straight fundamentals. No funny business. This shit ain't nothing to me. Oh, wait. On and off court. Straight fundamentals. No funny business. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. Gas escapes Olivia's lips and she squirms in surprise. Body's folding in on itself instinctively. Blink once, and she's composed again. Naomi, you alright?
I'm alright. I just have a slight stomach ache. I guess breakfast isn't sitting well with me.
Changing the subject quickly, she turns back towards the new student and ultimately regained her air of professionalism.
So, Mr. Anon, my name is Naomi and this is my boyfriend Nasser. We're your welcoming committee.
That's right. I add, offering my hand again, this time for an introductory handshake. He accepts, his grip tight, almost firm enough that it hurts. So, Anon.
So, Anon, where are you from? Why choose Volcano High?
I threw diamonds at the strip club under the Great Pyramid. I pushed a camel through the eye of the needle. Before I can even attempt to understand what he said, Naomi doubles over again, a pathetic whine unrestrained this time. Grab her. Hurry over, grab her by the shoulder. Naomi! Okay, we're gonna have to go to the nurse office if you're hurting this badly. He is inducing menstrual cramps! Somehow. She looks up. I recognize the familiar side as her gazes meet. Just the pain she was in. Her face was twisted up. In pleasure.
I'm okay, Nasser. I'm okay.
Couldn't be more evident that she was lying. She's leaning all the way against you, so she can squeeze her legs together.
Oh, I just had some cramps.
Right, well, it was nice to meet you, Anna, but I gotta get her somewhere to lie down. You can find your class, right? I start to lead Naomi away from the new student despite her protests. I didn't wait for him to respond, but I heard him again before we could get out of earshot. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. Naomi buckles over again, and I quickly catch her this time. With new sense of urge, I got her inside, away from that disaster that was a new kid. Oh no. Anon has game! Why are we going with a whole bunch of different POVs? Hell yeah. I'm all for it, buddy.
It's a new year and a new me. One semester left in class and I'll be out of this school and ready to move on with my life. Laid out in front of me are my familiar tarot cards. Interestingly, Naomi had asked me for a reading at the start of the years, but was surprisingly absent. Not like Little Miss Perfect to be late for any class, let alone the first in our last semester. Oh well, Mr. Tsuki is here and started to ramble about something that none of us understand, so I scooped my cards back up, set him in their box, and then put him away in my bag. Just as I raised back up and faced the blackboard, someone comes striding into the room late. It's a Naomi. It's a new student. Oh my gosh, a human! I never get to meet humans. I hope he likes the mystical arts. I have to corner him later and give him a reading. My tail swishes against the floor. The large pendant almost reaching the student behind me before I realize it's out of control. Wrap it around my leg and lean forward just as the new student prepares him to do some stuff. He seems shy, and Mr. Tsuki has to double down to get him to speak up, but the human seems resigned to his fate. The human took one look around the room, seemingly steeling himself for what was to come. This fucking line! The first time I smoked runts. I'm losing my shit, this is so dumb. The first time I smoked runts, I coughed so hard I started passing kidney stones.
Then I shat myself in front of the gang. There was shit all over the pounds we shipped for the next 30 business days.
What is going on? I need an adult. Before he could finish speaking, my tail wrapped itself firmly around my midsections, and my hands gripped the disc so hard my knuckles turned white. I can't let my beak down hard enough, almost hard enough to draw blood, and my seat rocked precariously back and forth. What the hell just happened? Did he cast a hex on me or something? Glancing around the room, I could see that the rest of the girls in class weren't faring much better. Mr. Tuki must have noticed something because he immediately cut the new human off before he could continue. I bite my lip again as the human walked by me to take a seat in the back. It looked like he wanted to be left alone. For my sake, I hope he got what he wanted. Although there was no way I would be able to get him out of my head for the rest of class. Maybe I could get him to say something again. Utter another one of his curses. After class, I'll try to corner him for a reading and maybe get an explanation. But I'll pass the time with our class for now. I reach for my phone and text my closest friend. She can't believe this.
We're getting Rosa now.
My phone has been buzzing like crazy ever since the first period started. Science class may be boring, but it is another subject I need to pass to get into a good college and follow my dreams of being the first lawyer in the family. The class is over, and I finally have a chance to pull it free and see what is so important that I could not wait. Over 27 missed messages from Stella. Dios mío, chica! We have been apart for an hour. Que demonios! Que demonios!
Demonios? Demonios?
I dial a number and almost immediately get rewarded with a screeching from a stego friend. Stella! Eras demasiado ruidosa!
No, ruidosa.
Ruidosa. You're too loud, calm down. The voice stops and is replaced by a shallow breath. I can hear it echoing off close walls. Is she calling me from the bathroom? One word at a time, chica. What is the matter? She did her best to keep calm, but rambled on for a minute about an evil sorcerer who came into school today. I could only get one out of every few words, but I'm able to get the idea that what she was talking about. There is a new student, a human, and he is causing my friend much grief. I wasn't about to let a new guy come in and cause trouble for her. Her first class was English, so I wanted to pump it to him. He would be coming by the signs to write. Bingo! A pale human in a green jacket was striding by, and all the other students were giving him a wide berth. Weird. I walk over to the middle of the hall to cut him off, pulling him out of some self-imposed stupor. He looks modestly surprised, jerking his head left and right to see if there was someone else trying to talk to. No one else was there. His eyes fell back on mine. What's the big idea, stupido? I ask, a grimace twisting up my expression. And what is it that I hear you bullying Stella on your first day? You have some kind of problem. He glances around to see if anyone is ready to intervene on his behalf, but seeing me riled up is more than enough to put any members of our class in place. No one dared look our way as I firmly pressed a finger against his shoulder. If I find out he has been harassing girls, I will have him tossed out of school so fast that his head will spin. Resigned to his face, he mustered up the courage to speak to his defense.
They are con... I can't. Alright, I fucking can't. There are consequences to your crimes against cavemen. Get Shorty out of here. She's built like a J Electronica verse.
My knees hit the ground faster than I can react. My hand grabbing the... Dios mío! He is a demon!
Stella was right about him. Unnervingly satisfied.
What is going on?
It's the first day of the last semester, and I'm ready to ditch class. If Forum Drama doesn't have a performance after class, I would have just ditched. The first day of the semester would be more than a review of anything. Wouldn't more than a review of anything. We should be ready for a set rather than sitting through classes anyway. If only I could find Raid or Trish. I'm used to the class giving me weird looks as I walk around the halls, but something seems to occupy their attention. I'm mumbling about a new student causing trouble. Whatever gets them off my back is fine. The halls are almost empty as I get to my locker. Nobody grabbing anything out of the lone human. I have a human here at Volcano High. Oh, that must be the new student then. Doesn't seem to be causing any trouble. What all the hubbub is about. Maybe he's a social outcast like me. Might be cool. I walk over and stand nearby, clear my throat to get his attention. Hey, Skinny. I winched at the derogatory nickname, but it's all part of the band's image. Gotta look cool and tough. Haven't seen any of my friends. Yellow sweater, long red tail, torn jeans. Pretty sharp horns. Fuck, I'm describing both of them at the same time. The human turns to face me, and I only now see that he is pulled from his locker. In his hand is a red solo cup filled with diamond-studded watches. What the fuck? He looks up and meets my gaze. Channel optics got me seeing shit. I need fentanyl slime. I just popped a whole garbanzo bean. What the fuck you mean? What is happening? Yes. Channel op. What is happening? How could this happen to me? A red blush explodes across my snoot. My wings stretch wide and my legs nearly fall out from underneath me. Leaning forward, I press my hand against the locker to keep me from falling to the ground. My heart's peeling a mile a minute. Heat radiating through my body in slow, methodical ways. What the hell was that? He turns his body ready to walk away, but a small part of me doesn't want him to. Oh no, she also has the menstrual cramps. Apparently, it shows on my face. He stops, staring at me with a sideways glance. Don't be shy, girl. I love me some pastrami mudflaps. I'm moving like French Montana, huh? Welcome to Cream King, bitch. Gone in an instant is the strength I had before to remain standing. A high-pitched and shrill whine that escapes before I can find the discipline to keep it buried, sliding down the locker now. Who is this guy? Who's the next person? I can't quickly... I guess it would be Trish, if anyone. The rumors are rolling through school like a typhoon. Some caveman fuck has been trolling the halls and terrorizing the female students. Apparently nobody was safe, and the students and faculty alike. Even Fang had fallen prey to his machinations. She said... She? They sent me a text explaining that the concert was off and was asking if I could bring their gym clothes for some reason. They seemed embarrassed and humiliated, so to even have me in the bathroom with them to pass their clothes over. I don't know what that bastard did, but I won't let this stand. Fang was my friend. There was no way I was going to let someone mess him up. The bell for class rang, and I had no interest in yielding to my usual schedule. There was a Skinny on death row, and I was there to meet out a sentence. The halls were barren now, no student daring to stumble upon the monster who dare troll our halls and curse us. It's fine by me. Nobody would get in the way of me showing him just how we operate in Volcaldera Bluffs. At the end of the hall, I see him now, pretending to look confused. I clear my throat loudly and stomp towards the bastards, pointing a finger at him with a Couche shot. Hey, fucker! You rode up in the wrong town, asshole. I hope you're ready to pay the price, you skinny son of a bitch. He turns to me with a long, deflated sigh. He seems to understand his fate then. I slowly start rolling up my sleeves, ready to rough this bitch ass up. He'd be lucky to get wheeled out in a gurney when I was finished with him. He doesn't even bother bringing up his hands when I grab his white shirt and raise a fist. End of the line, dickhead. You ain't seen 10 bands or your life, Jit. Reach for my neck. You can turn it to an example. You all gotta stop playing with me, man. His strength burns away in an instant. Fist unable to find its way to his cheeks, I stumble forward. My weight falling against his chest. He doesn't bother catching me. Instead, he tips a step back and I regain my bearings. My knees are weak, but his auditory assault continued. You think I care about this shit? Ask me if I care about this shit, because I don't give a shit. If I had $1 for every time they said I gave a shit, I'd be broke because I don't give a shit. What little constitution I have is depleted now. Without anything to brace on, I fall to the floor shivering. Sweat is pouring off of me right now. Musk! Oh no! Trish, no! As I lay on the ground shaking. Meekly, I lift my head to face him. There's no mercy on his face. Only the stone-cold look of someone who wholly finished with the day. He frowned and continued. This shit ain't nothing to me, you super piece of shit. Step the wrong way and you'll perish. He doesn't care. The human just walks by, giving me the middle finger. Man, what a bummer of a day. First, Trish calls off the concert she'd been so eager to play. I guess we'll get a rain check on it. Haven't heard from Trish either, though. Oh, Fang called off the concert. She must be pretty worked up over the cancellation, though. Though she never stays mad at Fang very long. It was a huge pain to set up the concert this time, but I'm sure it won't be hard to win over Spears again. He'll understand for sure, Ski. School was weirdly vacant. Not like the time I did too much carving and showed up for class on a Sunday when it was just dead. It's an eerie vacancy, like everyone was hiding from something or someone else. Suddenly I lost my footing. An unmarked puddling of what I could only hope was water. Caused me to slip across the floor. We all know. Someone should put up a sign here before someone gets hurt. Whatever, not my problem. Turning the corner, I spot the wide double doors in front of the school entrance. Bingo. On top of that, I see someone else trolling the halls at the middle of class. Is that a human? Oh, I saw him this morning too on the steps. Dude looks kinda lost. We should give him a hand. As I get closer, the hairs on my neck stand up. An unmistakable aura of dread settling into my stomach. Was this dude causing this? The vibe in the air sobers me up almost instantly. Almost immediately, my previous urge to leave replaced with an intense desire to hide. Slowly, the human turns and faces me. Its expression was indifferent towards my presence, but it was impossible to hide thanks to the malice that was hiding just behind his blank facial expressions. A rage was building within him, and then suddenly, English with Mr. Tsuki seemed considerably more enticing than walking down the hallway facing him. I swivel around quickly and my jaw almost nearly hits the floor. Human was right there standing in front of me. I turned back to look at the doorway to the school, but nobody was there. Bro! How do you fucking do that? That's sick! I'm smoking Mesopotamia, Stanley Cup, triple award-winning, soul-bleeding, taint blasting, JT Power Associates, Dingleberry Zaza. Dude, whatever was mixed into that carf has definitely hit already. I don't get a single word of what he just said to me. He looks surprised I'm still standing. That sound rough, bro. Oh, cool. Oh, wait. That sound rough, bro. Or cool? Whatever you dig. Looks like you need some supplies, though. I know some guys. I can get you set up. I give him my patented finger guns and he gives me a perplexed look in return. They needed a stealth soldier, so I put my hands on that. I can't. This line. I can't. Hold on. I must gather my inner chakras and open the 8 gates. They needed a stealth soldier, so I put my hands on the hibachi hot plate at Benihana and burned my fucking fingerprints off. They will not find me. Right on, man! Feeling of dread that built up in me slowly washed away. This guy's a totally normal dude. All cool in my book. I pat him on the shoulder and walk past down the hallway and to the front door. Next time I saw him, I'd have to apologize for being so out of it. Right now I had a dragon to catch. And apparently a boner to take care of? Where'd that come from? You know what it is? When you're this high up, you know, the morning comes a little late, as they say. Whew! Who is this character? Is this Anon? This whole day has been a disaster from start to finish. Ever since I rolled out of bed and bumped my head, the only thing I've been able to get out of my mouth is insane gibberish. Not a single person has been able to help me. I tried apologizing to the student council dinos in the morning, but whatever I said just offended the Parasaur, and the Pterodon didn't... I'm supposed to slur the names or whatever. Didn't seem too happy about it either. Saw them several times throughout the day, but all they had was nasty looks. The only guys I could find all day by myself was the very first one. He had to have me stand in front of class and introduce myself, and that was the last time I had anything close to a pleasant conversation with anyone. For the rest of the day, I just want to shrivel up and die. Yet dino after dino kept coming after me, wanting something. And every one of them wound up in a pleasure-drunk mess on the floor without fail. Eventually, that shit really started to piss me off. By the time the purple one wanted a piece of me, I was done with it. Putting her in her place felt kinda nice, though. To imagine she wanted to come after me because I was having some trouble. What the hell does that? That was one cool dude. He seemed to have the same problem as me, because when I spoke to this inane gibberish to him, he replied to me in kind, because we all have our own battles to deal with. At least after today, I can rest assured that I'll be avoided for the rest of the school year. Nobody in their right mind will want to deal with me after what I put them through today. I step out of the front doors of my illustrious high school and let out a long, defeated sigh. Was this really what my last semester of high school had waiting for me? Avoiding the entire class while trying to keep my best to keep my mouth shut? I guess it's better than being run out of town with pitchforks and torches. There's no telling how long until people get the same idea that rock bottom did. So lost in my reflections, that it feels those girl waving over to me. Oh, I saw her earlier. She's one of my many victims. Looks like she's changed into a gym uniform. Great. Probably to give me another piece of my mind like everyone else wanted to. I trudge over, ready to get an earful. Hey, sorry for my fit trash. She can be a real pain in the ass. What? Apology? For something someone else did to me? I thought of a nice, careful reply. It's no problem. I got that a lot today. My mouth, of course, had a different idea. Tie the ops to the back of the track arc and drag them around the block for 24 hours. Motherfucker looked like a Resident Evil 5 campaign extra after we were done with them. The girl winced, her wings stretched out and her arms crossing over her stomach. The lascivious expression was familiar, the same that was etched in every other female student I talked to today. Despite the conditions, she smiled about it. Yeah, you really did a number on her. She had to get a ride home from her mom. She'll be alright, though. She can handle it. I was about ready for her to turn and bolt, fall to the ground and hug herself again. She stood her ground. Took her a few moments to catch a shaky breath again, but soon she stood proudly again. Satisfied that whatever I did to her didn't cause her resolve to falter. She grinned and continued thinking that was happening. Anyway, my name is Fang. Since my feather-brained brother couldn't do it, I'll pick up the slack. Welcome to Volcano High. My hand is outstretched, first greeting offered to me in good faith. I accept readily, giving her a soft and thankful squeeze. Before I could stop it, my voice forces itself out of my throat again. Why there, Cloud, seeing the scope beaming? You could trust me, I don't trust myself. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm getting too much money, ass so fat I'm peeking off this Danny Phantom slime. Can you remind me who I am? Fang closes her eyes, every line causing a line of drool to run down the length of her long snoot. She spreads her feet to give her a bit of ground to stay balanced and squeezes my hand as tightly as possible. The rush finally rocks her lithe frame, and she's still standing again. It kind of fades quickly from her face and is replaced by a proud grin, satisfied for herself for withstanding the flow of my spit a second time. If I had to be honest with myself, I'm impressed. I'm gonna go home. See you tomorrow, right? A warm smile finds its way to my face. The first smile that I could remember today. Despite everything happening, somehow I still made a friend. They want to drive a wooden stake into my heart for pulling my cock out at the Toronto Blue Jays game. All I'm saying is, I paid for the tickets. Squeak! Deep purple blush exploded as she clamped her hands down on her snoot. She offers me a final wave with a pinky and turns, rushing off out down the street and presumably home. Still swishing to and fro the whole time. With a shrug of my shoulders, I hit the road myself, whistling a small tune as I walked back to my shitty apartment. Maybe this would work itself out after all. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. What the fuck just happened? Anon got ungodly ribs because he bonked his head getting out of bed. Yes, I don't know, man. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. I'm very confused right now. Everyone wants a continuation. So, I think we're not doing chapter 2 today because I'm off my rocker right now. Whatever that was, I don't know, and I don't think I want to know. I think I would be happy if I just died completely ignorant. From Dracula Flow is in the video. I don't know Dracula Flow. I feel like I should. It was meth for the brain. Probably. Might as well be at this point. Wait, what's this? What's this? What's this neat map? What percentage of... Oh, wait. Percent of people that know a transgender person by country. How exciting. Oh, the Netherlands aren't on this chart. How sad. Mexico is 57%. America's 38%. Some people dress and live as one sex even though they were born another. For instance, someone who was considered male at birth may feel like they are actually female and so dresses and lives as a woman. How familiar, if at all, are you familiar with people like this? Choose any... I mean, this kind of excludes a whole bunch of people that fall in between and all the weird tertiary genders that some places have. It also ignores the long and deep history of castratos. That's all I'm saying. So that was Caveman Flow, and all I can say is I think I'm done. I think I'm gonna go lie down and pretend that my life wasn't a total mess. Would that work for me? I don't even know. Man, I had a soup a little while ago, like Wednesday, and I was way too full of it. Well, like I said, I'm kind of done for today. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. I'm just a little bit in between things, you know. My brain's like 50-50 on things. Why are you like this? Back tomorrow, we'll do chapter 2. Chapter 2 is usually where it's make or break time. So to be a little more serious, it's make or break time. It either starts getting into its stride or I'm gonna get a little pissed. You do not want to see me being a little piss and vinegar. Or as Mario would said, I would like to take a piss. Sometimes that is the right answer. Will Inco stay Inco?